Oh crap, you rated me and I'm not even actually set up and all the way live yet. I see how it is. I see how you're doing this. Alright, fine. I will actually turn things on then. I was still playing around with stuff. So, welcome on in everybody. I am just setting up to hopefully get some featured instance groups run tonight. Gonna start out on my champion here, and then knock on wood, I'm going to keep working on my lore master, who is level 145 with absolutely terrible gear and virtues. Have to take this off because I've been on a headset all day for work, so that's got to go away. I've been experimenting on the Lore Master, and I'm pleasantly surprised that after Standing Stone Games did this stat squish we had however many patches ago, we actually get pets that are useful once more. The stat squish has made Lore Master pets no longer past level, 80 to 90 range, just a dot that dies in 2 hits. And yes, I see the stretch redeem, which is actually really good because my hands are killing me. Hey, Sergeant Majorfish. I play on the Landreval server. So, I am going to start out by doing tasks here because I want to keep working on the legendary item track. And tasks are a great way to get yourself some cheap XP to keep filling out and getting either your legendary track all the way to 100 to get whatever your mount is at the time, like the red skeleton horse, or just keep getting these coffer of legendary items. This character can do 10 tasks per day. 10 tasks is almost an entire bar filled just by itself from handing in crap you'd sell otherwise. So these are the kinds of things you shouldn't let go by the wayside if you've got stuff hanging around. And it seriously just takes a couple minutes per character to hand in a bunch of this stuff. And you can see how much each turn in moves that bar. People are always talking about, it's coming up to the end of the legendary reward track, and I've got so much work to do to get to whatever I'm trying to get to. Do tasks. Do your tasks. Try and do them every day, or at least every few days on a handful of characters. You will be amazed how quickly you can fill this. There's another legendary box. I think I have one more to turn in. So just this character alone, handing in his tasks, almost an entire bar, almost a full coffer of legendary rewards by himself. Now, I'm going to take a peek at chat here and see if anybody's been shouting for featured instance groups. What I am hoping to get is people running featured instance groups so I can cycle a few characters through. It's Hold Valandil, so I'm not really sure how many people are going to be putting groups together for that one, to be honest. I don't think it's one of the more popular ones to get groups for, because it's not one of the 3-mans. Those you can basically just blow up. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to pop back out to Bel Inzel and pull bounty board dailies while I watch chat. So right now I am playing a red line champion. This is what I normally use for just running around in the world if I don't have to be a yellow line for AoE. I really like tanking on the champion. I have a blue line spec and LIs built out, but champ tanking is a little bit more situational sometimes than guardian tanking. So I don't end up tanking a lot of stuff unless it's with the kin. And I'm just going to take a quick run up to the tree here and see if somebody's already got him or if he is up. Oh, somebody has started the tree, but they are not very far through. And unfortunately, there is just so much foliage in this area that it is really hard to get a good camera angle sometimes that doesn't show nothing but branches. And when you're fighting a giant tree, it's even worse. But now we should be into the clear. And again, I just love so much of the scenery that you have with the shield dials and Umbar. It's such a nice change of pace from a lot of the other Lotro zones and designs that we've been seeing for so long. Oh, I want to get in on this. Haha, I got my tag. So apparently the Isle is jumping today. There's still nobody shouting for featured instance groups, which is kind of a bummer. But we'll see what we can get. Normally I would stop and grab resource nodes, mine, and get the wood, but there are people running from bounty mob to bounty mob, so I'm just going to try and keep up the best I can. And I've already missed the crab, so I'm going to go back and see if I can get those ore nodes. Or palm branches, if nothing else. Of course, that one is down below when I wrote above. Okay, hopefully the crab is spawned by now, or close to it. There we go. There's our crab. And I definitely do not mind that there is somebody else here helping, because this is, of all the bounty mobs, absolutely my least favorite. For whatever reason, this crab can just absolutely wreck me on my bad days when I'm not paying attention, or if I don't get any crit streaks. The red line champion is relatively crit dependent as far as if your day is going to be good or bad. So if you get a whole streak of not having any of your stuff crit and proc anything, that crab can basically eat my lunch. It's not quite as bad now because I picked up another couple of gear upgrade pieces, which is one of the reasons why I do this, is to try and get back to the point where I have all decent gear again. Hopefully, when we finally get the instances for Umbar, our 3-mans, our 6-man, and our raid, that will change some. But right now, really the best way to get gear that you're not going through the entire Umbar crafting guild stuff to do is your Embers gear, which is its own whole grind. And the beast is basically a pushover. He has nothing special he does other than throw rocks if you're standing away from him. He's just a little bit tanky, hits a little bit hard, but has no special abilities, resistances, or bleeds or anything like that, so he goes down like a chump. And if you've got at least a couple of people out here doing these go a lot quicker. Stop at mine real quick while I'm waiting. But if the beast just spawned and went down, we should be shortly to the crow. The other nice thing about these guys is even though they are technically group mobs, they don't follow boss mob rules, which means they are susceptible to anything you have that stuns or dazes or knocks down. So on the red line champion, I've basically got 3 potential knockdowns I can use to take these guys out of the fight for a little while we hit them. I've got my sprint stun, I've got Horn of Gondor, and then I have my consumable horns as well. So on a good fight like that, if you've got a couple of good DPS with you, you can basically keep the bird on the ground the entire time stunned while everybody kills it. Taking a quick peek again through chat just to see if people are shouting in world chat for groups instead of LFF, because people do that too, and it looks like it might be light on the ground tonight.
Greetings, kind traveler.
People are talking about pie, people are talking about all sorts of things. They're not talking about grouping.
Fine day indeed. Greetings, kind traveler.
Okay, that gets me a quick 100 embers on this character. And let's see, do I have... Yeah, wrappers are already basically done, so I'm gonna pretty much... I don't want to raid around too long and basically twiddle my thumbs while I wait for a featured instance group. So while I'm waiting there and keeping an eye, I'm just going to swap over real quick. If my inventory decides to respond, there we are. Swap over real quick and do more or less the same thing on another character while I watch the chat. And this just might not be my night for getting instance groups. You never know. One of these days, I really hope that the character switching gets a little bit quicker. And I don't have to play the game of, am I crashing or is the client just not responding yet? Oh, and test machine is beeping at me, so a script is done running. Hang on a sec. The joy of working from home is sometimes you never actually fully stop working. Or you're a sucker. One of the two. Shared storage, one of my absolute favorite things in the world. So, watching... Oh, apparently I already ran the... Oh, that's right. I forgot I took this character out on my lunch break today and did these. So, scratch that. We will not be running bounties on this character. If I was really smart, I'd have some kind of a tracker someplace, keeping track of what I've actually done each day on all my characters, but that implies forethought, and that ain't happening. So what I'm going to do instead is hop over to the hunter. And yes, I did decide that the Umbar gear looks so silly that I had to have at least one of my characters actually wearing the Umbar gear. So the hunter is rocking the Umbar gear models. He's not wearing a cosmetic outfit or anything. He's actually he's displaying what he's using, and it is truly a silly mishmash of stuff. So I've got my VIP stuff. And Halrax is the quickest, easiest travel point. And of course, now that I've switched away from the champion to another character, specifically one I don't care about gearing as much, this is inevitably going to be when people start putting together featured instance groups.
It is a fine day indeed.
But so far, chat has moved from pies to the Roman Empire, so we still do not have anybody putting groups together for anything. There's a whole herd of people out here doing bounties, so if I'm quick, I should be able to catch up with them and basically just tag along and tag mobs like a hunter. Think they went to the tree first. I didn't see which direction they rode. If I guess wrong, they'll have killed the salamander by the time I get there, so we'll see. I think I might have guessed wrong. Hopefully I can catch up with the salamander or get knocked off my horse. Well, there's a whole gang of them down here, so perfect. I might have actually caught up to them. Oh, and apparently we're doing an overland island raid here, so we are doing a raid group for mobs that probably any two of us, if not any one of us, could kill. It's one of the reasons why I really do like Bel Inzol is that people put together groups here to do stuff like this. It's a great little kind of grouping hub. People group even when they don't need to, which is something that I do miss in Lotro compared to other MMOs sometimes. Because a lot of times it's just people don't group here. But a lot of that also goes back to the fact that a lot of the design of Lotro content is not really made for grouping to be a regular thing. A lot of it is just not supported in terms of being able to group and still have things work well and be appropriately challenging and rewarding, which is a bummer. Reason also why landscape difficulty is so nice, because it brings back at least the ability to do some of that. Okay, looks like most of the group here is stopping and waiting for the crab and just killing while we wait. But I'm a hunter, I don't have to be particularly helpful. I just have to shoot stuff. And I will play into that. Somebody else is doing all the work. I'm not going to roll on their loot. They can have that. Wake up, crab. Man, somebody must have killed the crab just before we got here, because that felt like almost his entire spawn timer. But I suppose that's also the catch too. We're going to be moving through these mobs so quickly with a full raid group that we are going to mess up the spawn timers pretty badly for whoever's following us through here. And there is still absolutely nothing in LFF chat. So I might be drawing full blanks on getting actual dungeon groups tonight. I was hoping that when Ill Omens ended, that would actually get people back to running the FIs a little bit more often, but doesn't seem like it. I've had pretty rotten luck there. I got all last week when it was Glingant was the featured instance. I just got one group through there. Oh, there's our beast. Kind of wild. We actually have at least one guardian actually tanking the landscape mobs, like at the very least sword and boarding, if not outright in a blue spec. So these people are doing this proper group style, which is kind of hilarious for enemies that are not all that challenging, but it is just neat to see. And our bird is already up. Should just be auto shots from here. Oops, somebody's in combat down there. There we go, now I come out. So if I'm really lucky, this group is also going to be stopping at the tree, or at least some of them. And I can get that knocked out too. So now we find out, and it looks like at least half the group is riding up the hill to the tree. Yep, good chunk of them. Oh, bad kitty. No. Alright, that is all of those guys down. And always politely say thank you before you leave the raid group.
Greetings, kind traveler. Greetings, kind traveler.
Still something coming in. There it is.
Oi.
And okay, good. I've got a lot of headroom. I'm not close to capping embers yet.
Ah, greetings, kind traveler. Oi.
Well, seeing that the chat is not jumping at all for putting featured instances together, it's just people talking about all sorts of weird random stuff. I think that might not be the plan for tonight. I think I might have to just admit that that ain't happening. So, go get some more quick XP here for the legendary track. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and move straight to the lore master, because then I'll at least be able to get something useful done rather than sitting around hoping that a group comes together when it does not look like that's happening. I don't think this character has the full 10 tasks. Oh, yep, he does. He is one of my older characters on the server, so clearly I've been doing tasks on him for a long time. And this is also one of the reasons why I have one task item carry-all that I tend to keep on whatever character I'm actively playing at the moment, and just let it collect all of the task items and then pull it out as needed. And when I'm done, if I am smart and remember, I just throw it back into shared storage and then log that character out. So I'm just going to go ahead and move right back to the experiment of see how far my pet can carry me on my truly atrociously geared otherwise lore master. When the Lotro client decides to start working again. Okay, here we go. So when I say really not geared, y'all are going to laugh at this when you see just how bad this is. because I'm going to pull up my my gear and specifically my allies and show you that when I say not geared, I mean not geared. So I got, you know, mostly level 140 stuff, and okay, that's a level 130 piece that doesn't have an essence in it. Level 140 delving gear. Oh, a level 120 cap. Bear in mind I'm at level 145. And my allies, I think other than one tracery, which is the single target attack damage that I apparently replaced at some time with the tier 14, are all red border traceries. So other than the like tactical healing rating and the tactical damage rating, functionally my allies are empty gear slots. And most of the rest of my gear is not far behind. So this is purely an experiment in how much can I get my pet to absolutely carry me. So we're going to go back to Farouk Sahar. And let's see, pillar gear. Ah, I have a milestone skill that's nearby. That's what I want. Arnok. I'm actually almost at 146 with still 120 and 130 gear. Oof. But so far, pets have been carrying me. So I'm going to see just how far I can stretch that before I have to actually break down and build out some allies. I left this character last, partway through King Elisar's Magical Mystery Tour, where we were stopping in the dwarfs, and I got sent. I got kicked out of the adults table and told to go explore. So, gonna go check out all the little areas here that they want me to investigate while King Elisar talks to the head dwarf. Do my scouting.
What has brought you to Farouk Zahar? I hope you do not think to involve us in your wars.
And of course, this is also about the billionth time that I have done the King's Gondor quest line. So I am sort of speeding through a lot of it. I've done the stop and read thing multiple times. Right now, I'm pretty much just trying to catch this character up through the main storyline.
It is good to see you again.
Hey, Sergeant Major Fish. I think what it is. Oh, yes, now I need to go check out the creepy door. Which every good fortress needs a creepy door that actually warps space and time when you get too near it. Now I'll go back to the throne room and see if they'll let me come back from the kids' table and be part of the conversation. But here, I believe, we're told to basically tuck in for the night.
Sar and I have come to an arrangement. During the discussion, something revealed itself to me.
They are called the kindred of the coins, Elazar.
We do get the nice little bit of King Elazar basically
And he belongs
absolutely snowing Hamasar in by playing like he doesn't know what's going on. What's up, Des?
You will accept your grace.
I'm just running through the... this is basically the stuff that takes place between the end of the last expansion and leads into what's the current expansion. So I'm over-leveled for it, but I am, to make up for that, dramatically under-geared on this character. Like, laughably bad. Like, you know I like to gear. This character ain't geared. Yeah, I was actually... Whoops, that's not the room I wanted to. I want to go to the sleeping quarters. Yeah, actually, Aubrey the Weird One is another regular Lotro streamer, and I'd been lurking in her stream earlier, and so when I was still setting up to go live today, apparently she threw all her people at me. So I had to do the really quick actually turn stuff on and go live, which, you know.
Like this. Hamasar is hiding something.
Okay, so checked in with all these guys, and he sent us back to check out the suspicious door, because who would have thought maybe the suspicious door actually is suspicious and means something. Now, it's actually really cool, the Lotro community on Twitch, like you tend to, you see a lot of familiar faces stream to stream, so it's not unusual. All right, here's the suspicious door again, and it's so suspicious it's actually warping the air around us. And Ganger is going to tell us about it, but not here. Because this place is too public. We're going to go into the armory. So he's all the way in the back here. The only place he feels safe telling us that there is some sketchy stuff going on. Oh yeah, I don't know if you've actually seen it since I had the hangers up where I've got swords and a base hung up back there. I think the last time I was using that camera on the 201 streams, it was before I had the hangers up. No, actually, it was after, because I think I had the swords up. Now, I don't often turn it on, mostly just because I stream after work, and by that point in time, I'm tired. Okay, here we go. We've heard about the sketchy dwarf that was hanging out, and Koltek the Cunning, who is a name and a face that we will come to recognize. Once again, hearing about the kindred of the coin having kind of come through the area and poisoned the well for us, so to speak.
I share your hopes for the future.
But Hamasar and Elazar still playing nice, at least on the surface. And we're getting the heck out of Dodge before things go all the way south. Yeah, Des, when are you going to start streaming again? Because you were doing, you had a little streak there for a little while. Okay. So we are getting the heck out of Dodge and away from these sketchy dwarves and moving on. Oh, this guy just got here and he is clearly doing the be made to wait by the gate guards part of the quest. Nice.
I bid you welcome.
Okay, so we're going to Ostanglebed. Yeah, and I've had your hands full with other things. I was hoping that, at the very least, the Vanguard emulator was up and running enough that you could be on and showing it off more. I think I have to go to... Oh, no, that's right. I can go up here. Okay, catching up with the rest of the party, and... Oops, the Queen's wandered off.
Is nowhere to be found.
So shield quest reward does me no good, so I'm just going to grab one of them. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how much they've able to successfully put in, because last time I was on there, it was still really rough. But that was years ago. Alright, so I happen to know that the one who knows a little bit more about where the Queen is Yorith here.
Sorry, I cannot help you.
So she's pointing out that the Queen likes going out northwest of Ostanglebed towards the river. And that lets me move the quest forward without having to talk to every single NPC who might know where the Queen went. Yep, I get that. It is very much a thing that I do and look at as a shouting into the void type scenario. And this is a long enough run here that I am going to just hop onto the idiot pony to make it quicker. And, well, more exciting, because we'll see how many things we can hit on our way there. And yes, I'm still in the land of 140s. I really need to get this far enough to where I'm doing stuff in the next zone or even the zone after that so that I have enemies who are not still stuck at 140. Because right now, these guys are not a good test for what I'm trying to test. Further north. This is my lore master. This was actually when I started on the Landerval server and basically started over again a few years ago when I left the server I had been playing on. This was either the first character I made or close to the first, and was the one that I was keeping more or less at level cap. But I hadn't played nearly as much when I came back because I started playing the champion because big sword hit stuff fun. And also, with the old scaling system, the math in Lotro and stats started to break down really badly for certain areas at about level 90-ish, like someplace in that level range. And so a thing that suffered there greatly were lore master pets, because lore master, especially a blue line lore master, is a pet or semi-pet class. And about that time, the numbers on pets started just absolutely failing to scale with everything else. And so your pet ended up just being basically a weak dot that would die to enemies in 2 or 3 hits tops, even if you were spec'd to improve your pets.
But I hope you
With the stat squish that came in late last year or so, it really hurt because I really liked Blue Line Lore Master, the pet spec. But with the stat squish that came in late last year sometime, where most things went down by something around a factor of 10, not exactly because they shifted around some of the stuff around, it looks like they were able to tame and make a lot of the pet stat math. Okay, yep, I still want the idiot pony because this is a ways away. A lot of the pet math actually works out again now, to where pets, even at the high levels, actually seem like they're worth using again. So it's been the first time in a long time that that's really been viable. So I am testing to see just how viable that is by playing this character that has truly been neglected gear and virtue wise, and just seeing how hard I can lean on living by my pet. Like my LIs here, my legendary items, basically every tracery in them is red border, which means that I've out-leveled it and it is no longer giving me benefits. This is one of the big problems with the idiot pony, is that you can absolutely outrun lag because they rubber band on their own. But they're quick. Okay, so I think I can go around to this gate. Yeah, so this is a character that almost might as well not be geared. And when I turn this quest in here, I think I have to go all the way to the other side. Yep. Of course. Go check in with Kaibar, and then I am going to pop over to actually test the character out in some at-level content, because I want to run a couple of missions so the enemies will be scaled to my level, not in a zone where the stuff is still 140, 141, and see if they still hold up. Because it'll be really funny if my pet can carry me at this point.
Oh, I am glad to see you, for I am at the end of my wits.
Okay, so I'm going to swap my milestone from Arnok to here so that I can come back quickly. And what do I have for travel skills on this character? Not a ton, because I was mostly playing back when a lot of those weren't around. It's one of the joys of playing a very old character is sometimes you just don't have all of the conveniences.
How can I be?
But I at least have the Andrath travel point. So this is going to be really interesting to see just how much I can sit back and let the pet do all the work for me. So I'm going to hop into Nettenglade, which again is one of my favorite missions to test anything on, because everything in here is basically a place where you can control it and make things into solo pulls. There's only occasionally a time when it's going to be a group pull, but for the most part it is a great testing place. Okay, so I have no buffs, no scrolls, still my, let's see, 131, 140, 140, couple of leveling pieces, 140, 130, 120, and my allies that are functionally non-existent. Go kitty go. And that one there is a little bit cheap because the Lynx has its thing where it has advantage attacking from stealth. So I can maybe expect it to one-shot things when things are stacked up its way. So you got to give it some slightly harder things to fight. Like this signature Forest Queen down here. Let's see how the kitty does against that. Okay, so he took 3 hits to kill the signature mob. And he's used 2 of his 3 cooldowns. So this signature mob, 1, 2, 3 hits as well. So yeah, I would venture to say that Blue Line Loremaster pets are back to being basically miniature chainsaws, which I'm entirely fine with. Because the cat just one-shot that signature mob. So yeah, this is one of those times where I've been saying for years and years that Loremaster pets, especially if you like the old Blue Line play, are just not worth considering above the 80s or 90s, and this is one of those times when I am very glad that I have had to reevaluate it and change my conclusion. Oops. Get him, kitty. And should be one more stealth, 2 more stealth spiders. Should be another stealth spider in this little clearing here on the way to the queen usually. And welcome back. Yeah, I'd actually be really interested. I still have the patcher downloaded. I just haven't patched the client in forever because it got to the point where when we all played, I don't know how many years that was. We kind of got to the point where it was like, okay, you know, we've seen what's there and it's functional so far. And it was so early in the project. I would definitely be interested in hopping back in to see how things are. I don't even remember what I played when we were doing it last. I think I was playing one of the healer classes. I know I definitely didn't play a necro.
Greetings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played a healer in that group because I think Aerie was tanking. Yeah, back at the time, Blood Mage was a selectable class, but the universal warning was they don't have any tools to actually use. So they were kind of a class in name only. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely might have to go back out and give that a check. So let's see. Which one is quicker? Probably Pell. So now that I'm 146, I'm going to do something really stupid and head back out into Umbar, even though I can't actually do the story quests there. I'm going to head out to Bel Inzul with the ungeared 146 and see how... Dude, you know how things go. Is tangents. Tangents are a thing. Gonna take the completely non-geared 146 out to the island where I was doing the bounties before, and with or without a group, gonna see how that goes. Okay, so Halrax to Bel Inzul is my route. And there we are, Bel Inzul. And of course, I can see that a group just finished up doing the dailies here because they're all crowded around the quest turn-in. But Kesselwyn is clearly here doing the dailies. I can see her grabbing them. And that's actually somebody that I've grouped with multiple times in the past. So I'm going to wait for her to finish grabbing the bounties and then tag along and see how this goes. See if I can at least be moderately useful at 146 with no gear. Oh, and it's Fool's Cap too. So we have some server notables here that we're tagging along with. Always stop and pat Fool's Cap on the head because it brings you good luck. Well, it's one of the things about like Lotro in general, because the servers are generally, you know, comparatively low population overall. Because again, niche game. But then on top of that, Landerval is a very social server. So to a large extent, you get to know names of people that you see regularly, you know? Like Fool and Kesselwyn here are regulars for seeing them not only out in the world adventuring, but also just in chat and things like that. So you start seeing the same people regularly enough. So So I think Fool's probably trying to go back up and catch the tree spawn, but I don't think that's happening yet. It's one of the reasons why I really like the Landerval server is that the population here is just pretty solid. And go get him, kitty. And cast pulled aggro. But the crab is already almost... Good grief. Yeah, this cat is ridiculous. Because I know Kesslin does pretty decent DPS, but I'm not providing any myself, so all my DPS was coming from the cat there. And I know how fast the crab normally goes down. And it ain't that quick. Not even with 2 DPS. Debuffs rolling. Hopefully keep the cat alive. And wait for somebody else to pull aggro. Dodge enemies because I still have an aggro radius out here. Most people don't do this island until they're 150. We go release the pet because they don't climb hills well. And we're apparently going to have to wait for the bird. Somebody brought a saber tooth with them. Somebody brought 2 saber tooths with them. 3 saber tooths? Did he just pull every cat on the island somehow? Okay, I think we're done with those now. So this minstrel, I don't know. I don't think I've ever grouped with him before. Waiting for spawns, yay. Meantime, let's see. Any of these worth changing out for? Well, there's an upgrade for my offhand sword. And perfect timing. All right, now hopefully, at least one of these folks is going to head back and get the tree as well. Although it would be kind of interesting to see if just me and the pets can take the tree. Might be a little bit out of my challenge range. think somebody's already here fighting it, though. Oh, nope. People are just clearing side mobs. Okay, but the tree is definitely on that minstrel now, so... Get him, kitty. And murder of crows. So down goes tree. It is on a 2-minute cooldown, but that spell is just way too much fun. I still miss Sick'em, but Murder of Crows is a really good consolation prize. Especially because I do not miss the lag that Sick'em generated when it cast and sent all of those animals out.
It's a fine day indeed. Oi.
But yeah, at least in a group, that's some pretty good confirmation that Lore Master pets are almost, I would say, swung the other way around from being useless to being maybe a little overtuned when you're blue line. I mean, granted, I am blue line, so my spec is literally built to make my pet better. Then that's definitely playing into it. So since I'm on the island here, before I bug out, I'm going to hop back down to the beach, because one of the things I got was one of the auto bestow quests to kill some crabs. And again, that leaves me some good on-level mobs to keep checking. So I'm going to let go of the cat and pull out the big kitty. And see how he does. So definitely not quite the ambush punch that the Lynx has. Doesn't have that same factor of one-shotting the first mob after I pull him out. But he definitely made short work of that guy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sit here and keep making sure that the cat's healed and take all these crabs out. Ah, that's so silly. I don't see Shelly anyplace, which means that somebody must have killed it. There's a slightly more difficult crab that hangs out on the beach here. That's another good little moderate challenge test, but don't see it spawned. Oh, there it is. So let's see. Switch back to the Lynx and see how it does against 2 levels higher signature mob. And I'm not going to give it the advantage by debuffing it or anything. Just in you go, kitty. I will give the cat a heal because I summoned it and didn't let it get to full health before I sent it in. And he tore Shelly apart. So yeah. I would say it is pretty definitive that Lore Master pets are now solid again. Which makes me happy because I did not like having to switch to Redline Lore Master to do quests or damage. Redline can be fun and all with the big like zappy lightning and, you know, ring of fire and stuff. But I loved Lore Master being that like animal and nature, you know, focused class. And Redline felt like it had drifted too far from that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's making up for lost times. So where the hell am I? Okay, I'm already at the tip of the island. I'm curious how much I can actually do just general questing out here without having done any of the lead-ins. So there's the jerk on the rocks up here. Oh, actually, no, here we go. Here's a good test. Oh, well, somebody else is here, but I'm going to send the cat in anyway and see how this goes. Yeah, as long as I can keep the cat healed. He held aggro the whole time, which, I mean, he's a DPS pet, so he's not doing anything to generate threat other than just pure damage, and he was not hard to heal through that either. So that ain't bad.
Spare a moment for me.
Okay, so we're gonna try and lift the Curious Hammer. Oh, we need to bring it all the way back to Halrax, that's right. So, back to Bel Enzo. Yeah, I might just stick a pin in doing King Elisar's Magical Mystery Tour with this character and see if I can maybe just do all of the Umbar side quests and things like that, which actually will, come to think of it, mean I miss out on a lot of the good gear pieces you get from the main quests, which still is exactly in keeping with what I'm doing with this character. So that's actually probably a better idea, come to think of it, is not to go through Song of Waves and Wind, but just to do all the random side quest bullshittery. Okay, so let's see, I'm looking for Ithurge. I have no idea who that is. Oh, it's one of this guy's quests. It's the Grey Rogue stuff.
Is there something you need? What news comes now to my shores?
We are not going to do any of those running around quests. what I want to do is see which travel method I can use to get to Umbar Baharbel. And I'm going to see if I can just head straight out to the hunter's camp. Because, hey, if you're going to make things difficult for yourself,
Kind traveler.
why don't you jump in with both feet? I'm going to see if I can do the hunter's camp quests, which is just an absolute ton of killing beasties. Closest stable. Gotta write all the new town for this one. That was not the route I wanted to take. Ha, made the jump though. Yeah, I love this city. It is beautiful. I love the architecture and design, with it being so different from anything else we've had. I absolutely get lost in here. Like, I just 100% will get lost in which side street and which little cul-de-sac I am in. Okay, here's the gate I was looking for. This city has so many like little tucked away courtyards and back alleys that have, you know, cafes and points of interest and just stuff tucked into. It is like, this is the map for it, and honestly, it is more sprawling than this because there's so much detail packed into the little side areas. It is a blast of a city. But outside the city here, and again, it's far enough away, I'm going to hop on the idiot pony just to make it quicker. Outside of the city is a hunter's camp where you can just get an absolute ton of go kill these, you know, ... quests. So I'm going to get that started because that's going to have me killing a whole bunch of like 149 to 150 mobs, including a lot of signatures when I start doing the lions. Like, the lions out here, if I'm not careful and don't watch out for the bleeds, the lions can kill my champion. And he's pretty damn well geared. So, this might be interesting. But first, because we have to sing the song of our people, we have to do a bunch of
Good day to you.
talk to this person to start their quest chain.
May the seas be calm and the winds fair. There is much to be done. And
Basically,
you're
all of these people's requests come down to, I need a bunch of stuff, and the way that you can get that for me is just to go out and murder anything you see that moves,
Might you spare a moment?
preferably in large numbers. Which, you know, my kind of quest when you just want something like that.
What news has come in with the doctor?
But it takes so much time basically getting all of these people to give you their quest because you have so many of them to
Might you spare a moment?
get all the starters for.
Come in with the tide. Do you have need of something? Might you spare a moment?
But this camp is basically just an absolute smorgasbord of 8 million kill quests. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have to actually look at my quest log and see. Okay, good. I did clear my quest log previously. If you come out here without a clear quest log. It can be an exercise in clearing stuff out. Yeah, I put that in there because I have the standing desk and I periodically need to be reminded to actually use it.
What news has come in with the tide?
Okay, he's going to give me all of his kill quests now.
There is much to be done.
So all of these are orange difficulty because they're all level 150
Spare a moment.
of various different
To be done. Fewer hands by which to do it.
regular, swarm mob types all the way up through killing signature mobs. So all these are going to be orange to me. And nope, you're going to give me more lead-in quests. Yeah, it's funny. The only time I regularly remember to use it is Thursdays for the 201. I'm pretty good about actually using at least that as standing time. Okay, so now we have his kill quests. I have no idea why. I think it's the routine. I really think that's what it comes down to, is it's just, that's part of the Thursday stream routine. So, all of these Cape of Umbar quests here, all of these are just all of these hunter go kill some stuff quests. So I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna keep with the Lynx because I really do like the Lynx. He's basically a miniature rogue. Let him get his health back and start killing. So Umbar introduced the crocodile mob. These things are awesome and huge and nasty. Hi, crocodile. Yeah, and there's these regular crocodiles here, as well as there are some signatures, so the different ones, the like slightly more difficult. And then there's a named croc around here who is bigger and nastier, and oof, he hurts. Because the crocs do this embedded slimy tooth dot, which does 9,800 acid damage every 3 seconds for 30 seconds if you don't purge it off, in this case, the cat. So that, if you do not catch that dot, can be pretty wicked. Oh, hey, awesome. That's kind of funny. I don't think he knows it because I'm on a non-kin character, but that is that champ that's running by questing out here is in my regular kin. Oh, and the kitty just one-shot a croc. Also out here in these tall reeds, like, they're not just taller than hobbits, they are taller than this human character. So it can oh, here we go. Here's one of the elders. So I want to send the cat after the signature croc. And signature croc took 4 hits for the cat to kill. So that's how you know they're dangerous. It's really easy to lose sight of what you're actually fighting in here with these just huge reeds. Okay, so there's all of my crocodile skins, but I still need crocodile meat and teeth. Collected fatty crocodile viscera, 8 of 8. Not really sure what these guys want crocodile viscera for, but you know, it's a thing. Oh, and there's another champion out here actually doing these quests with gear and stuff. Who even does that? Silly people. So if I want to get tags on these guys, I can't just do the pet and nothing else, because otherwise this guy's going to kill them all way too quickly. So I have to abandon my experiment at least a little bit. This guy also might be slightly confused as to what's going on, as to why the cat is doing all the work. Okay, but now we've found some boar who are also on my list. And the cat basically one-shots him still. I still need crabs. But I'm done with crocodiles for the moment. I think I've pretty much gone past crab territory. But that crocodile was looking at me funny. So we'll swing around, get these couple boar here, and then I want to see how the cat does against these lions. Because they have a really wicked bleed they can put on you. And I'm curious if the cat can live through them, or if I'll have to use one of the different, maybe the bear. Oh. Yeah, he walloped the cat. So stun the lion and pull out the bear. Get him. I said get him. There you go. Good bear. The bear can probably take a few more hits than the cat can, but still died to the bleed. So there's always that. Okay. we'll give the bear another chance here. Go redeem yourself on a boar. Or get pounced on by a stealth cat. So, let's take care of you and go get the kitty. Not bad, but yeah, I didn't get bled this time, so that's actually better. Go send him in against the boar. So yeah, bear, not really a surprise. Tanky pet, doesn't do a ton of damage, but against these regular mobs, you can pretty much go toe-to-toe with them with minimal support. Let's see how the other cat does. Big saber-tooth cat. Very similar to the Lynx, just not quite as quick on the kill time because it's not an AoE group, which makes sense. So, let's see, what all am I looking for here? More boars. At some point in time, I will actually have to break down and build this character's allies out. In these areas, these wide open plains like this where you don't see any enemies, always make me think that there's going to be a lion hiding there, because they love to just be stealth and hanging out in these spots where you don't see anything and you think it's clear. So I think I'm going to go back to the Lynx. The saber-tooth is nice, but it just doesn't have the single target punch that the Lynx does. Like, this fight would be over if it was the Lynx. So this is the named elite crocodile here. And since I'm here, and it's here, I mean, I might as well. In this case, I will give the pets a little bit of a help with buffs and debuffs, but I imagine that I'm going to have to cycle pets. I don't think I can keep the pet alive. Or I was wrong. I got lucky and was able to clear the dot that it put on the pet off quickly enough. So yeah, the kitty with some healing behind it can take out elites, not just signatures. Who'd have thunk it? And it is, of course, funny because a couple of quests later in this quest chain, I will have a quest. It would have been a perfect time for a lion to just jump out and kill the cat right at the end of that, yes. It is funny because right at the end of this quest chain, when I turn in some more of the other crocodile quests, like all the things I've gathered from the crocodiles, one of the things I'll be asked to do is, oh, now can you go kill the named crocodile? But I know I can do it now. And he respawns really quickly. He's already back because he is a quest mob. Okay, on the other side of the road here, I should be able to get water buffalo and probably some more boars. And kitty go. I think I've actually gotten spoiled in that I'm expecting the cat to be able to one-shot more mobs than it is. Just like waiting for those crits. So that is the cats and the bear tested. Now the bird is very definitely not a solo pet necessarily. It's more aimed at being a support pet. Because one of the things it is best at doing is basically setting up flanking attacks for anything that triggers flanks. So it does very little damage in and of itself. And it is obviously not doing enough to even hold aggro because it immediately came to me. But at the very least, it didn't die in like 1 or 2 attacks. Because it used to be that the ravens could take maybe 1 hit at level and then would just crumble. But what they're really there for, and it's not so good solo, is setting up any attack that triggers a flanking reaction. So they have survivability, but they definitely do not have damage output, which is not surprising. So now let's see what the bog lurker does. Go get a boar. Alright, so the bog lurker is still nasty as hell. Lion didn't even get to us. The bog lurker may be back to being just straight up overpowered. And quick check just to see if anybody is... No, there is nothing going on in looking for fellowship chat tonight.
What news has come
So it's a good thing I wasn't hanging around waiting for a group to come together, because nobody's putting stuff together.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by
This just might not be the work for it with the week for it with Hode Valendil being the featured instance. I think, though, what is next week's featured instance? Yeah, the next 3 weeks are when there's probably going to be a lot of groups forming pretty regularly, because it's the 3 3-mans in a row where we get what are they? Woe of the Willow, Agaroth, and then Stoneheight. So this week might just suck for that, but next 3 weeks it should at least be easier to find groups. Oh well. Okay. That, I think, is a pretty good test of Lore Master scaling. So I'm going to put task item carry all back in shared storage and go run this character back to town. Then swap over, move some gear, and hop on a captain. Oh, or I'm going to get ambushed by a lion. Like you do. And have a very nice hunter also help me kill the lion. Yeah, I'm going to move some gear over to my captain because I've got a bunch of account-bound gear that I swap back and forth between all of my heavy armor characters. And see how bad today's Delvings are. Because this did not end up being as challenging as I intended it to be. Maybe I should have removed more gear. Okay, back to town. Swap characters real quick. Well, technically swap characters twice because I need to rob some gear off of my champ. I'd been planning on actually being able to get into some instances, so I'd pulled gear out of the bank for him and actually geared him up, and that didn't end up happening. I also have the sneaking feeling that every time I log off to change characters is when LFF chat goes crazy with people looking to put together featured instance groups, and they fill up and set off before I can swap characters and get back in the game. That's what Paranoia Brain says. Okay, now comes the fun of stripping a whole bunch of gear and stashing it in shared storage. Because account-bound gear is awesome. When shared storage starts responding. All of this gear here I can use on either my champion, my captain, or my guardian. They can all share all of this gear between them. I was seeing that in emails that that was coming up. I haven't logged in and checked it out yet. I realized that I am slacking so badly in Genshin. I think you were saying you were something like 36 or 37. I logged in and realized that I was still like 35, I think. Oh, does it get you a free character? I hadn't. Who's the free that you get? Because I might have actually logged in and gotten that one. So I think I did get somebody free last time I logged in. Or do you have to do the actual event stuff to get the free character? Okay, so yeah, I will have to go check that out. Thanks for the reminder. Probably do that later on tonight. Okay, and back into shared storage. I've never done any of the event type stuff. I keep seeing them and thinking, oh, those look neat, and then I never get around to doing them before they disappear. Oh, that's right, I did make this character a shield as well for when I'm in my healing spec, so I'm just going to pull that out of storage. Because ultimately, I would really like to be able to run this character as a healer sometimes. So I figure I might as well have a decent shield for that. Okay, that should be all the gear pieces. Yes, good. And I think this character has... Perfect, so I can head straight to Andrath and see what today's malices are for Delvings.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Yeah. Alright, so it's Nettenglade, which means I go one higher than I normally would. So let's see what we get today. Don't have a convenient early mob to test, which is a bummer. So I won't know yet until I get further in what today's malices are. Okay. Pull up my archer, who is actually the star of this show. My job here is really just to back up the archer. She does all the actual work. Oh, there we go. I can see a spider here. So, what do we see so far? Okay, so one thing they definitely have today is on damage, reflect 15% of shadow damage. So they've got Sauron's defense up. But that's the only thing that is immediately showing. So let's see if they spawn anything. Oh, he procced a malice just before I killed him. He didn't last long enough for me to find out. I'm gonna guess ground-based AoE. Oh, and virulent poison. So poison, damage reflect, and come on, what's the third thing? All right, well, I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall there. I don't like that I have not yet figured out what the other malice effect is. Because at tier 7, I should have 3 of them, I think. It's been a while since I've regularly done more than tier 6, not having the good delving gear at the moment. I did set it to 7, didn't I? Now I'm starting to question whether I actually set it to 7. Next mob I see, I'm going to have to count its malices. Nope, it has 7. Okay, that's what it is. It's tier 7 is a knockback if you don't cleanse. I just haven't been getting it because I've been cleansing the poison. Okay, apparently it's going to call friends too, so that's fun. Ooh, that went poorly. Yeah, so apparently I still need to actually pay attention in here. Oops. I was not cleansing poisons. Which banner do I have equipped? Do I have the correct one? Yes, I do. Good. So yeah, tier 7s can still be nasty, even if it's Net and Glade. The combo of not clearing the poisons, not cleansing the corruptions off of them, which means that 15% of the damage I did was reflected back on me as shadow damage. So that didn't help either. And imagine I probably also was standing in bad, you know, just to add to it. Yeah, that is definitely one of the great whoops moments. Is you realize you're going all out on DPS and the enemies are damage reflecting. In Moria, there are a mob type, the Dragonets, that do they have an kind of an inherent damage reflect to them, and Poti Oboen, who is another Lotro streamer, he spent a good chunk of time one night trying to see on his burglar if he could one-shot himself with the damage reflect of the Dragonet mobs. He never did quite. I think his biggest hit he managed to land with a from stealth crit. He took half of his health back in damage. So he didn't get close, but he did kill himself. I think it took him 3 Dragonets to kill himself with the reflect damage. I mean, you got to have goals.
What do you need? Greetings.
So yeah, today's Malice is definitely not bad. The knockdown is potentially problematic if I don't cleanse it. And the Captain Cleanse is on a 10-second cooldown and only clears a single debuff. So it's not the greatest for these. So now we do something stupid and head into Umbar and see about running the ones from the Bloody Eagle Tavern and see how that goes.
It's a fine day indeed.
And the quickest way to get there, if you don't have the Bloody Eagle teleport, is to take the boat into Umbar Baharbel, because right up the path from the docks here is the Bloody Eagle. So boating in rather than taking a horse basically puts you just a quick jaunt away from the tavern. If you take a horse in from one of the other locations in the Isle of Umbar, you have to ride all the way through most of town to get here, and it is a pain in the butt. So let's see, Beast of Belphilus is another good controllable one. Let's see how this goes. There's my archer. And go to work. Ooh, that is... Okay, so we do have a different set of malices here. This has Daunting Disease, which means that when these things die, they spread a disease that reduces your max morale by 30%. And that is a double whammy for nastiness, because when you cleanse this off, you don't regain the health you would have had otherwise. So it's basically like a one damaging ability when that lands that takes off 30% of your health, because it reduces your max health, and then when you heal, you still are missing the health that should have been there. And I still have to wait to cleanse it again, because Captain Cleanse is 10 seconds. So that is actually a nastier one than I was expecting. But that's why the missions from the Bloody Eagle are fun, because we get crap like this. Almost managed to shock and awe those guys through the stun. Not quite. And now we should just have the big lizard. And he's definitely taking a bit of a pounding here. Does he have a... I don't see anything on him specifically for damage reduction. I must just not be hitting very hard. Oh well, he is a dead lizard now. And so that confirms we have a slightly different set of malices for the Bloody Eagle Tavern, which is nice. Because that one does actually make you keep on your toes. That 30% at once is just nasty on two fronts. So natural disaster should be good. And let's see, do I have wrappers going? Yes, I do. So how many more do I need? Okay, I did just start them on this character, clearly, because I only have 3 done, which leaves plenty of headroom. That's good. And I'm also clearly an idiot and have not been running buffs. So, oops. Clearly, I need somebody to be my minder and let me know my buffs have fallen off. Might might swap up the Captain mark I'm using for these guys with this debuff. I think I'm going to switch from yellow to blue just to get the increased splash healing, because I think that's going to end up doing me more good only because of that malice with the damage reflect. I think I need more group healing compared to the single target that blue gives me, or that yellow gives me. This might be one of the few places where I swap back and go blue. Or actually just pay attention and purge the damn malices off these things like I should be doing in the first place. But that would make far too much sense, and I can't start that now. Come back here. I know my archer's cooler than me, but I want to hit you. I should just give up trying to outdamage my archer at this point and continue to acknowledge that she actually runs the show here. I am purely her support system. Alright, now the fun part here is going to be, is that a cluster of, I think it's a cluster of 3 of them all walking in sync. They like to do that in here when you're running it as a delving, I think to mess with me. So that you can't make this into a solo or even duo pull for your last mob or wherever you leave that one to. You've basically just got to go in there guns blazing and get all 3 of them before they take you. So that's fun. I'll see, maybe I luck out and they start walking a different pattern, but I've noticed that when they do that, they don't tend to separate. It is the Rat King of trees. And yep, I've got one off by itself, and then that cluster of 3 all walking together. Apparently my archer is just going to take this one out before it even gets to us. So that's a thing. Okay, so I'm going to heal up, get all of my stuff ready, and basically just blitz this pack of 3. So it's going to be a regular, a signature, and a signature, of course. It couldn't be a signature and 2 regulars. So, sacrificial archer. And pretty much blow all of my cooldowns here. got them all done. It leaves me basically no cooldowns for the big tree, but that just means that I leave the big tree to the archer, and she goes and does cool archer stuff. My job is to purge and heal and interrupt. Okay, that should be the end of the tree here shortly. And done. Not bad. That particular Malice set makes things interesting. The Shadow Reflect plus 30% health nuke is an interesting combo. I will give them that.
Do you have need of something? Do you have need of something?
Quick peek through chat and see if I've missed anybody putting groups together, but still nobody in LFF. Harumph.
What news has come in with the day?
This is not the mission I meant to launch, but I'll do it anyway. Okay, go get me some crabs. This one, if I remember right, still has some places with broken geometry in it. So you have to take some weird hopping paths through certain portions of this one to get over invisible objects that clip through things. Which is why I normally don't do it. There should be one in the next floor down, I think. There's still a crab alive. There it is. The great joy of the crab hiding behind the wall. Yeah, this one has the combination of the close quarters ship and a couple of places where the geometry is broken. Unless they fixed it. I mean, they might have fixed it. But it's a reason why I normally don't do this one. I just clicked it on accident. Okay, that is all the crabs down, aside from this group here. And one more leak should just leave me the crabs in the room at the end. And go get him, Archer. I'm kind of disappointed the Archer let me pull aggro back on that one. But they have actually fixed all of the broken geometry in this one. So all of the places where there were invisible textures clipping through like walls and such, at least in this one, the ship model works again. So hey, small favors. I can actually put this one back in the rotation.
There is much to be done and fewer hands by which to do it.
Let's see what is left. Dark treasure. Do a taste for crab. We'll continue the theme and close out with more crabs. This one actually has a working delving stone too. And we're still continuing with the 30% morale debuff. So that just seems to be common to all of the missions coming out of Blood Eagle today. Is they're carrying forward the shadow damage reflect, but we're getting the disease as opposed to the poison or the knockdown effect. That's actually one thing that I kind of do like that they do on the Delvings, is they actually make it so that the Delvings aren't or the malices aren't all universal across all of the different delving locations. There's usually some that are common to all of the delvings for the day, but then you'll have some differences site to site. Okay, I think I'm also just going to go ahead and leave that debuff on. Kill this next pack here, because there's almost no sense in cleansing it. We're going to go right back into combat and know that I'm going to be getting debuffed again. Although those dual lacerations plus the 30% health hit sucks. That was not a good one. Thankfully, Captain's got heals. And I do not trust these guys not to wander around and sneak up on me while I'm clearing traps. So, oh, and of course it's 3. Okay, yeah, that one hurt. And of course, because I can only cleanse one effect at a time every 10 seconds, have to sit there and wait a couple of cycles for my muster courage so that I can get the lacerations and that health debuff off. Definitely makes me miss the lore masters, or not the lore masters, the rune keepers cleanse, where it's only single target and single effect, but it pulses multiple times. Much prefer that one. These guys are sneaking up on me. I see you there. Okay, that is 7 of 10 traps emptied, so almost got all of them. And 7 of 8 great crabs. This should be number 8. And then next comes the part of the mission that always makes me feel just a little bit bad about doing this one. So after I got all the traps emptied, the cast mother has arrived to avenge her children, who we've been killing. It's a bit of an "are we the baddies" moment. She is literally just coming out because we've stalked this beach like monsters from a horror movie, killing her kids. I mean, it's kind of the way it is. Literally, that's what we were doing, was going the length of the beach, killing her kids for their meat, and emptying the traps set for, you know, more crabs. So she came out to avenge her children.
You spare a moment?
I don't make the rules.
Might you spare a moment?
Okay, but that is a good stopping point. So what I'm gonna end up doing is, I see Poteen is live because it's one of his regular nights. So gonna throw folks over to Poteen O'Bowen, who is also playing Lotro.